All right, everybody. I'm just going to pull myself down. It looks like we are live. We're going to skip the intro for today just because we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. But if you are funneling in, we really do appreciate. Here, I'm going to get Anas up there on stage. We really do appreciate you joining in for this week's Flash Hour. We do have some special guests and some things planned for everybody. Anas, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you all right. Good morning, everyone. Let's get started.
Hey, it came back. Great. Awesome. Yikes. Yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully everybody can hear me all right. We're kind of improvising on the fly, but we're going to go straight into it since we are a bit late. But we'll go ahead and make this work. So, State of the Trenches, if you guys are not aware, we funnel everybody in. We just do a little recap of the Solana space and the broader Solana ecosystem so that way you can get caught up to date, and we allow people to kind of funnel in, grab their coffee, and sit down for the remaining Flash Hour. Getting started here, we have Polymarket odds will be integrated with Google. That was kind of I was not expecting that. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's like one of the first mainstream integrations that happened with a tech giant. It's actually Polymarkets and Kalashi as well. I don't know how to pronounce their company's name, but yeah, both of their odds would be shown up if you search about them on the biggest search engine. So it's a very great thing to see crypto companies coming right at on the big tech scene.
Yeah, 100%. I think this will be just one of very many. Good morning, Tom. Good morning. And then what do we have next on the docket? We have the ore supply. So the ore, everybody is talking about ore. And yeah, it's interesting things happening with that.
Very innovative, to be honest, and a very interesting take at what money actually means and how you mine valuable assets. So yeah, we're looking forward to its to list ore as our first perp and looking at how it's growing and looking forward to make them like build something that is sustainable fully on Solana and create that store of value add.
Yeah, absolutely. And then ore was correct me if I'm wrong, but ore was the actual token that brought Solana down initially because of the whole mining thing.
Yes,
it's the same.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say I got involved in that. So
yeah, and they changed the way ore is mined. Before it was very resource intensive, where they were using a lot of compute on Solana, and there was some more, basically there was some problems around Solana blockchain which got fixed just because ore showed us that way. So it's very good in that direction that we were able to solve for those issues just because of this new company.
Yeah, a lot of people they constantly do this thing where if something bad happens, it's like the end of the world. But in all actuality, just like regular software development, something bad happens, it shows you how the direction. Okay, this is what's wrong. This is how we fix it. Let's move on from it, and we're better off. We're actually better off for it. And just like how me was down.
Yep, we just need more innovation to happen on blockchains because it just brings more people and more attention to the tech that we are building in open finance. So we are happy to see or develop further and bring on more innovations.
Yeah. And then moving on here quickly, Harmonic making waves across the open marketplace for block building. I thought that was super cool. So this is a really neat thing that just came out here recently. So if you saw it on the timeline, it is super cool.
Yes, basically it's one of a competition to what Jito is building with their BAM system, which is a marketplace for blocks that is powered by Jito. But now we have Harmonic. We also have Raiku, which is also trying this thing. So we have now 3 contenders trying to build this marketplace for block building where applications would be able to specifically build their blocks and have their access to the validators, although we are yet to see them in production and see if they bring on more latency to the block producing engine, or they reduce it. So yeah, it's interesting things overall.
Yeah, all positive on the Western front here. Privacy seems to be all the rage. So Hush Wallet is being added to that privacy block. But this is all thanks to Arkham. And yeah, privacy is a big thing. And I think it should be a first-class citizen and not a second-class citizen. So I'm personally very happy to see this kind of push in the Solana ecosystem specifically. So that's huge. Alchemy, I don't know if you know, or I don't know if people know, but Alchemy's huge as well. They're actually leading in Web3 development platform. They rebuilt their development stack for Solana, which is also really, really huge for developers. And then Sorare Fantasy Football coming to Solana. I don't know why the heck they didn't start here anyway, but welcome. And then Solana ETF saw net inflows while other ETFs, including ETH, BTC, there's other ETFs out there as well, but they saw net outflows, which is huge for the Solana space. That's really big. And then BlackRock's Buildle on Solana crossed 250 million TVL, which is awesome to see. It just means more Solana adoption, even though we are not massive fans of BlackRock. But moving on from that, DeFi Carrot users recently 10% APY in aggregate for 12 months. That is insane.
Yeah.
All right.
Average APY for the last 12 months for DeFi Carrot holders was about 10%, which is a very great unlock overall. And yeah, with further due, I think.
All right. And then just for this stage of the game here, we wanted to bring in, if you saw the announcement, DeFi Carrot is here. JB from DeFi Carrot. Real quick, get paid to loop on Carrot. Pretty amazing. I'm going to pull that down and bring him in. What's up, JSP?
Yo, good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Doing good. We just wanted to talk about real quickly, not to take up a ton of your time, but Flash and Carrot.
Yeah,
you're getting into the loop game.
That's right. Yeah, we are. We launched our Boost products several months ago, and it's been really, really great. And part of the thesis here is, as Carrot, we originally started as a yield aggregator for dollars, where you could, have the peace of mind of knowing you're getting the best risk-adjusted yield across the ecosystem. It was in a token that only went up. Feels really good to see a token always green in your wallet. And unlike most DeFi, it stays in your wallet. This was kind of the dream of the token UX. It's the simplest thing we do in crypto. If you came to Solana to buy a meme coin, you can participate in DeFi, through a token. And one of the things we saw pretty early on was if we were always going to be downstream of aggregating yield, there's just not really a business there. You're kind of beholden to the other protocols. Not much you really can do, and you're like kind of post-profit for them, with how those lending markets work. And so we built our own borrow lend market. And the best way to drive demand for your own borrow lend market until you're like large and established is kind of looping products. And so our loop products drive demand for borrowing. That borrow comes from Carrot Liquidity, so it's built exclusively for Carrot Liquidity. This allows us to offer kind of above market rates for our CRT holders, which this is a win. And because we're so capital efficient, we use just-in-time inventory on these lending markets. It allows us to offer better rates to the borrowers too. So everyone ends up being really happy. And we've loved partnering. You can see the tokens that are up there already. The FLP and ALP and JLP are already kind of rocking. A unique point of view for us is when we run these campaigns with these tokens, we end up being a big TVL multiplier. When things go well, this really essentially is transferring supply of dollars into those protocols. Buy more of the token, kind of how that works with leverage. And the incentive program has been really great because unlike really everywhere else, we incentivize and kind of pay the looper. So the person who's like bullish on the asset of FLP, they're the ones who are accumulating the FAF rewards, rather than most places are kind of incentivizing the supplier side of, hey, it's a really low interest rate, but we're going to like boost that interest rate by giving you this token. And that ends up being where we see a kind of a negative feedback loop, right? These are people who are not, directionally aligned with the ecosystem. They're not thinking like, oh, how do I support flash trade, they kind of sell that token because they need to realize the APY. And we always kind of felt like that was not in the best interest of any of the ecosystems who are entrusting us with their token to kind of give us an incentive. And so we've seen a lot of success with people who love FLP or love ALP or JLP, get the rewards of that ecosystem directly to them. They end up holding that more, or staking it, or doing whatever you can with that, and leads to overall much better experience.
One thing I just wanted to point out to everyone is the UI UX. You guys have spent, or you must have, I'm assuming, a lot of time in the UI UX, just keeping it as streamlined and as simple as possible. And it has all the data that like just an atypical user would need to like make a confident decision.
Yeah, spent a lot of time on it. I appreciate the shout out. I did all this UX and design work, and really the goal for it was, hey, how do we educate users through the interface? We can write docs, we can write things that are paragraphs and explain, hey, here's how looping works, here's all this stuff. But I really found, giving a visual indication of what's happening on the hood was the best way to do that. And if you go to create on that second tab there, we'll kind of show that.
Look at this.
Type it in, and it instantly helps you see, hey, here's the collateral you're depositing. Here's how much you're getting. That's debt, and as long as that that collateral is earning more than what you're paying on the debt, this is where you get this net benefit. And this helped a ton of people realize, oh, this is what looping actually means. This is what's going on. Like, okay, I own this much, I'm borrowing this much, which lines up. That line's always in parallel there. That's the debt I'm taking on. As long as like my green is bigger than my red, this is what it kind of helps people. Get a sense of confidence to make the trade, because when you understand something, that is what breeds confidence.
That's true. 100%. And we have big fans of making UXs much easier for users. And when I saw the dashboards of Carrot, I was like, oh my god, this is the best. Across the ecosystem, I haven't seen any where you get this much concrete information when you are looping any asset, and the PNL, the health, all that. It was just superior, and I'm sure these things are gonna go way bigger than where we are at right now.
Spent a lot of time on the P&L side. As a user, I'm a user myself, right? So most of the stuff we're building, for me to say, this really pisses me off, and so I want it to be different. And really, unlike anywhere else, and sometimes to our detriment, frankly, like the way we calculate P&L is we use what you input, as kind of the starting line. So a lot of people, other platforms will use kind of like your post-open position, which is post-slippage, post-origination fees, post-everything is like your starting net deposit balance, and then your P&L is calculated off that. Well, you'll see, you deposit $100 or whatever, you're instantly going to start like negative. That's just in every platform. That's the case. And we choose to show you that negative because you deposited 1,000 or 10,000 FLP at the start. Now that's got a notional value and all that stuff. I just hated always going back through transaction logs to kind of see what did I actually input, like what did I actually do here. And so my goal is just, hey, this is how I wish it was built. This is what I wish everyone else would do, and to do our best to provide that experience that, again, this gives you confidence.
It does.
It gives you a level of comfort, like, okay, like I don't need to go verify. Like any DeFi I used before this, I keep a little spreadsheet where like I type in, here's the transaction, here's exactly what I inputted, here's what I paid, here's the time, here's the price of all the assets when that happened. And it gets to be a real pain because it's so easy to forget. You kind of come like, what did I do here? Like what really happened? And so our goal, again, is just to make the most friendly, straightforward, easy to understand UX for users.
Achievement unlocked. I was actually pretty blown away. And just to be clear, Anas is the one who really turned me on to this in the first place. And then once I got here, even on mobile, I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. This is what I like to see. Something that's just
streamlined. Shows, like when the builders are the power users of a product, they know what they're doing. Because most of the time you find products that are just built for the sake of building. But when you are yourself the power user, the product itself shows that you are putting that sort of attention. So And as I said, we just need to put on some more information about it, because what we have seen so far is like the community itself didn't know much about carrot, and they were like, "What the heck is a carrot? Is it a fruit?"
Yeah.
So vegetable. So
Let's go.
yeah, what
Oh,
we
of course.
basically run through is some more campaigns, and we love the way you have architectured the looping as well, where you are doing direct CPIs to our program to mint FLP, because this is the neatest way. Because what I've seen so far, the other looping products, they basically ask us to provide so much liquidity upfront, which might have some more impermanent losses due to the AMM miscoordination. So yeah, when you are looping, you always have to loop directly through the program, because that's where the real liquidity lies. And if you want to liquidate, you have assets available without any slippage.
Yep.
So yeah, this is actually a net beneficial thing that looping products are building directly over the protocol rather than going through the open markets. And even the price as well, if you are pricing it off pith, it's actually not good to price off pith, because it's just, same thing taking from on chain and then bringing back to on chain. But if you are directly calling the programs, you just have the latency advantage and everything is in your control. So yeah,
That's right.
make
I mean, that was
efficient.
a huge angle for us too. We said,
Yeah.
hey, what's something that we're really uniquely good at? And that's working with on-chain data. And
Yes,
we have a lot of
that'd be
sympathy
awesome.
because we have the same point of view. Like the value of a CRT in our case, the NAV is based on like what the program will redeem it at. It's based on the assets, under management, the supply, and every block that gets updated. And so we knew that we have the similar problems with people like wanting to use CRT and the on-chain liquidity. We've got like almost 30 million in TBL at this point. But on most places, it looks like we have like 100,000, 200,000 in liquidity, which seems terrible. But the reality is like we're fully liquid all the time. If you call the program, you can get it immediately. And so we felt pretty strongly of how do we work with teams similar to us, like you guys, where we can integrate directly into the program and call that and be able to get the full access liquidity. It makes our any of these protocols, what really matters is how good is your liquidator. That's how do you protect users against bad debt. And by us having a direct connection into the protocol, one gives us the ability to have more accurate pricing data, to feel more confident being able to liquidate. And then we have fallbacks, right? We all have to have them. Hey, if we can't get enough size or the liquidity is not there, then we can move to the worst option, which is swapping on chain for it. But having that is a huge benefit for users. It's a positive for the protocol. It just takes more work, and we're happy to. If it comes to that, we're happy to do more work.
Yes, and I think moving forward, we'll have more interesting pools. We are also working on a real world asset pool, which will have gold, S&P 500, and Tesla and all that stuff in one pool. So I'm very excited for that pool to go live. And then when we create a looping product over it, I think over a longer period of time, if the economies stay as they are going up only, then we'll have certainly an up only FLP token that is loopable, and that would be a great money bringer into all our protocols. And like the way we are thinking at these pools is like we're trying to create some pools that are very risk averse to crypto downfalls. So we would love to have a pool that is just metals such as gold, silver, copper, which are like distinctive from whatever happens on crypto. So imagine tomorrow if crypto corrects by 20%, we want to have pools that don't correct in that direction, and they are going in their own cycles, and these the crypto assets are going in their own cycles. So in DeFi, I think we need to make this push where we bring on more assets which allow more kinds of investors to come and play irrespective of market cycles. So right now we are just at the helm of this crypto cycle that we think it might end, but we want to move forward through cycles and have assets that have bigger cycles and bigger plays. And imagine if the cycles of metals ends, will have something with stocks, or if stocks goes, we'll have crypto again back. So yeah, looking forward to those cycles.
Just wanted to point out a few things on here too that I really appreciate, is the maintain leverage on deposit or reduce leverage. So you actually have the option there when you're depositing. When you're withdrawing, you can maintain the leverage as well, or increase, or just completely close the position. And then can you talk a little bit more about the adjust leverage? You can adjust leverage on the current position at any time?
Yeah. So one thing a lot of people don't always understand is that leverage is just a calculated metric. It's the net size divided by the total collateral. And so as let's say you're winning in a trade, you're actually getting delevered. You start at 3x or something, and let's say position is doing really well, and then you look back like, wait, I thought it was a 3x position. Why am I at 2.6? And that's just because it's a calculation. And you can think of getting liquidated really just means your leverage is too high, right? So your leverage is really increasing and kind of like breaching the covenant of getting close to your debts being worth more than your collateral, which obviously we don't want. And so this leverage adjustment, the goal with it, again, we want to make this really simple and straightforward for a user. We say, when you adjust leverage, we want to keep everything else equal. So we're going to adjust your leverage, but keep your net value exactly the same. Similar to when you deposit, most people, when you deposit, you just want to add to your net size. You want to maintain your leverage. And this helps users just have the confidence of knowing, hey, this is what's going to happen. You can even tell, like when you maintain leverage, you can deposit FLP1 or you can deposit USDC because it's got to take on more debt to maintain leverage. So it's going to do these calculations for you, super simple for you. But when you reduce leverage, the only thing you can deposit then is FLP, because what it's going to do is just a simple deposit to your collateral side. You're not increasing debt, you're just increasing your collateral. And so that means that your leverage is going to go down. This is good. So there's no additional debt being taken on. Gotcha. And so when you adjust leverage, that's the aim, is that, hey, you're isolating one factor of, hey, I just want to adjust my leverage, keep my net size exactly the same. So when you adjust it either way, it's either borrowing more to buy more of the collateral to like get the net end results. We use flash loans for these things, which are nifty little DeFi primitives that are super cool if you ever want to dive deep on those. This is super helpful for the user because it isolates the action to the single variable you're trying to control.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Also, I think I saw some posts about OR Boost. We are also looking forward to list OR Perp by tomorrow, probably. Would love to know what you guys are cooking with OR.
Yeah. So one of the things coming up for us is, boost positions are great. Yes. We love these. These are awesome. But at our core, like, we're a tokenized DeFi company. That's really what we're all about. We think the form factor of token is better. The tax advantages are better. The visibility, transparency is better. And so we are coming out with a line of tokens that are we call turbo tokens, where we're essentially going to tokenize a boost position, if you will. So it's a whole different form of leverage, totally different. And kind of the compromise there, or the benefit here is to say, if we are able to offer dynamic leverage, where when you buy this token, Turbo OR, you are not choosing your leverage. You don't get to control. You're not managing your position. We're saying, hey, this is a managed thing for you. It's going to be variable leverage in this range of some sort. All you have to do is buy and hold the token. And so by tokenizing essentially a boost position, we're allowing people to like take leverage through a token, which again, like, we are a tokenized DeFi company, and using this same primitive now repackaged in a new, more user-friendly experience. Like, even as user-friendly as that is, for some people, they're like, I'm out. Like, no, it's a little too much for me. Like, how do I know what to choose? Do I have to manage this?
Yeah.
They just don't like that. And these tokens are meant to protect you against liquidation. So, the variable leverage kind of gives us that ability to manage that for you. You don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is buy and hold the token. Stays in your wallet just like CRT does. Redeem it at any time. It's fully liquid. And so like that is our plan with like a Turbo OR, is to take these things and kind of make these tokenized primitives for people to get the benefits of DeFi, even if they're a little scared. If we could never convince them to like do it on their own.
Noted. I think in this side, it just reminds me of the exchange. FTX had this levered tokens to trade with, and you could have levered traded volatility as well. I think that is more interesting, where if you can provide positions for volatility, like tokens that represent volatility of the market, such as crypto, Bitcoin, even Solana, and outside markets. And if people are able to buy these tokens to get advantage, if they think the markets are going to volatile, it acts as a hedge. But it's kind of hard to market make these tokens. But if you can make that happen, it's epic.
Yeah, yeah. What people might not realize is Carrot as a protocol is much larger than our products. Like CRT has been our single product for over a year, and so people know Carrot, they think CRT one to one, and that was really intentional. But Carrot was built as a protocol, and we can issue lots of tokens. So Carrot as a protocol is in a way we're a tokenized hedge fund. We can issue all sorts of different strategies. CRT was just the first one, and so we are capable of doing these more complex operations and things. Now that we have a system that's been scaled, it's been hardened, it's been through some things, which is always a positive. Nothing beats actually being in production, actually being in the market, actually going through those events. No simulation could ever, no back testing will ever, really give you that confidence. And so, we're really excited to do more stuff. Like we can do all sorts of things. In fact, long time ago, like we tokenized drift vaults, like Hedge JLP, like we tokenized that.
Nice.
We haven't released it publicly, but we're like very capable of doing these sort of things because the base primitives are, managing NAV price, being able to handle ingress and egress, and all the like details along the way. It's a lot of accounting stuff at the end of the day. And so, we're very excited about our ability to do stuff kind of like what you mentioned in the future.
Yep. Love
That's
to hear
amazing.
that.
All right. Well, just in the essence of time, we really, really appreciate you coming on, sharing with the community what Carrot is all about. If you wanted to leave them with anything, some parting thoughts, one thing that I wanted to leave them with is that Carrot's paying you at the moment to invest with FLP1. So.
That's right. Hey, if you're bullish on FLP and you want to support the project, this is your way to like force multiply, your support. Looping is a TVL multiplier for any project. And so just by participating, you're able to like help boost the size of FLP. And as you know, the size of the LP token is what leads to the better experience for the trader. And so if you want to support the protocol, one, you're getting paid in FAF to do it. This is awesome. And two, you're really supporting and kind of getting a force multiplier. It's almost like during the holidays, people are raising money or charities are raising money. It's like you donate, someone's going to match it. It's almost like we're in a matching phase where we're helping support the protocol that you love, and this is the best place for you to, get leverage exposure to an asset you already like, and check it out.
Appreciate it. The just with that, we'll say goodbye, and I just had to say one more thing, but the FLP, the cool thing for me with it is already, I went in right away as just like a sample, but I'm already earning FAF. So any way I can compound my own FAF back. So pretty stoked about that. What do we say? I just wanted to read some of the comments. It says, when deeper liquidity for ZEC? ZEC has some pretty good deep liquidity now. It's on FLP1. And then
still being utilized heavily. So I think people have their own issues. Yeah.
Time to build the delta neutral strat using Carrot. Let's go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. And then we will pull not Carrot back up, although we do love, that's the wrong one. There we go. Yes. So flash overview, if you've ever been here for this, essentially we just go over what is happening on Flash right now. So the latest and greatest thing is that FLP1 is available on the Carrot platform. And if you're investing now, because of the incentives, you get paid to loop on Carrot. But another good thing, let me remove these comments here. FLP1 is outperforming as usual, as expected, 1.37. We're back up into those levels, and the total volume on Flash Trade is just about to breach $18 billion, and total rev distributed to all of our FAF stakers, which we greatly appreciate. About 68% of you are staking your FAF. 235K has gone to you, since we do share 50% of protocol revenue with all of the FAF stakers on the protocol. Getting into what did we get done this week?
Yep. I think the first is the minimum collateral that we have adjusted for DGen mode as $1. And now the only place, I think Flash is the only place where you can trade with just $1 and at 500x leverage fully on chain. Your favorite assets, Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. And very soon we'll also add more assets to the DGen trading mode. And yeah, it's actually all possible because of Pith. Would love to give a huge shout out to Pith for delivering those feeds, aggregated feeds with the best aggregation tech out there. And this is only possible because of the aggregation and the latency that we are getting the feeds at. So yeah, they are the best in the game, and just because of those improvements overall, we are able to offer these degen offerings at Flash. So yeah, moving ahead, yeah, I think we've just talked about the Carrot integration, and we are very very happy about it because it's actually one of the easiest way to loop, and we'll have
Yeah.
more interesting things from loop scale as well. So yeah, we'll have a lot of good incentives coming in line to loop your FLPs across our partner protocols. And next thing is, yeah, breakpoint preparation is in full swing.
Yep.
I think you can already see my merge.
Let's
It's a
go.
version. Yeah, we are just getting all things done. A lot of interesting merge, and then preparations for the talk and our booth at Breakpoint. Make sure you come to us, and we'll have very interesting discussions on what's to come, and hopefully we'll have very good things out till then as well, because you're doing some very interesting cooking in the coming few weeks.
Yep.
And the next thing is, we've also improved the speed at which charts are loaded, and when you switch between time frames or even assets, now things are moving much more faster both on mobile and desktop, and it is a very leap forwards improvement from the backend team. Shout out to them, always at the backend helping things. So
For sure.
and yeah, a lot of things get fixed, to be honest, over the week. We just get to talk about the few that are
The stuff the
worthy of-
users see.
are shiny. Yeah, you just look at it front and you're just happy about it. So
Absolutely.
the next thing is we are currently testing the OR perp, which is a very interesting currency that has launched on Solana, relaunched on Solana a few weeks ago, and we are very bullish on the innovation that they're bringing in for mining. So yeah, would love to see how it goes out, and it's just in confirmation about the tech that we have built, that we can launch perps as soon as a token goes live, and we don't have any issues as such. We just need the token to be live and have good amount of liquidity, and then we can just go ahead and launch the perps for it, irrespective of how volatile that token is. So yeah, as a very interesting experiment, we are going ahead to launch OR with its own isolated pool with up to 10x leverage probably, but we are still testing and seeing how the capabilities that are possible through the oracles that we're getting for OR, because it's quite volatile. Although Zcash was volatile as well, it went up like 80%, 85% since we listed Zcash, and then we listed at 50x leverage, and then it went up 80% and it corrected about 30%. So that is a huge swing that happened in just time frame of 10 days, and we had no bankruptcies, no issues with liquidations, or the take profits, limit orders, or trigger orders, any of those kinds. And we're happy to even see that FLPs actually earned more money due to adding Zcash. So we are looking forward to list more assets that are very volatile, as well as assets that are in demand as well, such as Hype, XRP, BNB, any of those legacy assets as well. So yeah, all in the direction of adding as many assets as possible on Flash, including real world assets as well.
Yeah. Yep. That's actually coming up. What is coming up? So what's coming? This is obviously my favorite section. I say it every single week, but we have a lot in the pipeline. There's actually so much that honestly we'd spend all day here, but these are some big things that are coming to the platform that are probably prudent for most people, or I should say that are closest for most people.
Yes. So yeah, we are almost in the final stages of testing V2. That is a very big thing, and all of us at Flash currently are doing heavy tests around breaking V2 as best as possible. Although we were not successful, and it seems the team has taken very great steps to make sure things run smoothly, and we're very happy with what we have, and looking forward to push it to the mainnet before we fly into Dubai to meet with Magic Blocks. So that is the roadmap as far as we see. And yeah, things are under works, where we are currently in touch with the team at Manifest to have spot order book on Flash, where you could place spot orders on any asset at zero fees, which would be a very great unlock, because all other places you pay fees to put up limit orders, but on Flash you'd be putting out limit orders on Manifest at no fees. So that is a very great unlock. As well as, yeah, we're also working on adding more pairs. You can see so far in the last 2 weeks we have listed more than 3 assets. I think 3 assets. Yeah, we've listed
Yep.
3 assets: 2Z, Meta, and
Meteora.
Zcash. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and all of them saw, I think, the highest volumes on chain. Even now, if you check Zcash, we on Solana are the only place that are serving that amount of volumes with minimal slippage. There is literally no slippage. And if you check other platforms, you're actually paying more than 50 to 80 pips to get your orders filled. And if your position size is more than $100,000, you're paying about 1% slippage. So yeah,
For sure.
loving the tech, and looking forward to improve it much better and make it like the best place to trade perps.
Yeah.
And I think I just wanted to put up a motto there, like it's effortless perpetual trading. Yeah, that's it. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, they didn't you kind of glossed over it, but a lot of people are potentially new here. What is Magic Blocks, and why is that so important? And why are we meeting with them in about I think it's like a week, or I think it's a week, right?
Yep. Yeah, basically, we as Flash, we need to move faster than what we have right now. Currently, we finalize your trades in less than 500 milliseconds. We need to bring that down by a margin of 100x at least. So that is 50 millisecond, and probably go ahead to 10 millisecond, which is the speeds at which everything trades. Basically, if you are trading on centralized exchanges, your latency generally is between 25 to 50 milliseconds, which is very less than a blink of an eye. And we can further on provide APIs for people to have latencies that is near zero, because when you co-locate your server to our server, which is producing those transactions and submitting the blocks to the client, and then client pushing it to the validators. So that is what we are working. Basically, it's an infrastructure company that allows protocols like Flash to make things run much faster and make competent systems that are magical. Obviously, that's the name, actually, Magic Blocks. So yeah, so just blurring the boundaries between what a centralized protocol is and a decentralized protocol is what we get through the usage of Magic Blocks.
Yeah, and the crazy part about Magic Blocks for me is it's like because it's a ephemeral, which is like temporary instance. I mean, it's crazy because you can have all of these better, or all of these improvements on the protocol, and then it immediately settles with mainnet. So, and the great part is that it takes advantage, like any advantages that still benefit mainnet. It doesn't strip that away because you're distinctly an L2. And then you have to bridge back. So this isn't like fragmenting liquidity. Yeah. This isn't doing all the downsides. This is, most of the upsides. It could scale to like what I think obviously maybe in production things would be different, but it's like 1 million TPS. There's so much, the latency is 50 milliseconds on the high, which is crazy. So yeah, all the improvements, all the great things that would happen with Magic Blocks is going to be realized here soon.
Yes. Max is having some background noise. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, the dogs.
Anyways,
forgot to put the dogs away. But yeah, other than that, we really appreciate you joining. I didn't see Zahib jump up, so I didn't end up adding him. But typically, Zahib would be here. He's deep in the trenches, making sure that Margin Engine V2 all comes out seamlessly. And other than that, I will leave you, sir, and I will do a little outro. But thank you all for watching as usual, even though my little chihuahua who has insecurity issues is barking. I apologize for that. But thank you all for watching the Flash Hour live. Of course, tomorrow will be Trade Wars. We apologize for last week. We just had some attendees, unfortunately, weren't able to make it, and we weren't able to grab anybody quickly enough to have that Trade Wars back live, but it will be live tomorrow for your all's enjoyment. Of course, thank you to Carrot for joining. Thank you to Pith for the price feeds, and thank you to Magic Blocks, which we'll be seeing in 1 week to elevate Flash to a whole new level. Enjoy the outro. I just made it. We'll see you guys next time.